Friday, boys.
It is Friday.
Can I get a reminder of what day it is?
Not Thursday. It's Friday. Pop Boy, Shane,
Yep.
Cannibal Mike G.
Hi.
And we're in our new place.
We're
Finally here.
new.
We're finally going to do that thing where we don't reveal our location. So it's going to be great. We're in. This is it. This is where we're going to be forever now.
This is our home now?
This is our forever home.
This is our new home.
We had a nice sign that said home, but we decided not to go with it.
We got candles.
It's a little quaint. It's a quaint
Yes,
look.
it's
We got
beautiful.
A superstar as a guest today.
Me?
No, we have Snoopy.
No.
We have Snoopy who's
Oh, yes,
taking a
you
nap.
smell
He's
Weird.
just taking a nice little nap over here. I get why he's taking a nap because we have to review Loqueesha.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. We're reviewing maybe a controversial movie today.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think it's wholesome fun.
Okay.
Good for the whole family. Good for the world.
So this is my take on it. I think it's a bad movie, but I think the controversy was overblown.
I don't.
If that makes
Well, I
sense.
don't really see a controversy
yes.
personally.
I just think it's a bad comedy.
Well, there's definitely not
Yeah.
a super funny movie. I think there's a couple good lines, but
Yes. I actually enjoyed the drunk guy at the bar.
I'll tell you what, though, watching it right now with no sound is interesting.
sure. Yeah. If you've never heard of Loqueesha, and you might not have, it's got a 1.6 on IMDb. Loqueesha is the tale of a white bartender who cannot get a show on radio because it's 2023 and I guess 2019.
2019,
right?
yeah.
Whatever.
Right.
Because he's white and he's male. But he could get a job if he was black and female.
Yeah.
Maybe he should have gone a different route, like sports talk.
He definitely could have got a job in sports talk.
That's probably the controversial part of this movie. Maybe is because they're saying he could have only gotten the job because he was black and female.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's actually legit true.
Yeah, it depends on because I guess 2019 was the height of everyone's they're only doing minority
It was like
hires.
peak woke.
Yeah. So I guess that's the thing he's trying to say. I just think the issue with this movie is it gets boring at times. I think that's my problem with the movie.
It gets pretty stale once he starts actually getting into the Loqueesha role
Yes.
for me. Once he starts becoming Loqueesha, but I can't lie to you. You might have hated it. I loved when Loqueesha started taking over.
Actual
Tourette's Loqueesha.
Oh, when he
was
morphed
incredible.
into Loqueesha.
Oh my, okay. So that actually, the scene where he's talking to the police officer is actually hilarious. It is hot fire.
Tourette's Loqueesha that came out of fucking nowhere. It was great.
Oh no, you didn't.
And he solves that problem by having a mock conversation with himself.
Yeah.
That is literally true. He decides to go on the air, cut the caller from coming in, and just have a conversation with Joe and Loqueesha back and forth with himself.
Tell you what, his producer, dude's a superstar.
Oh yeah, that guy, because he's produced local musicians.
Yeah.
He's been around the scene.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I love how everyone just he doesn't even question it. He's just you know what, I'm in. The only time he has an issue is when he declines the Oprah invite.
Yeah. Well, it's big time, and he didn't want to get exposed.
He doesn't see black and white. He sees green.
He's
You
green.
feel me?
Yeah.
Doesn't someone also say that they only see green and gold? I think the guy at the bar.
Oh yeah.
In this movie?
Yeah, doesn't he say I only see green and gold because he's Irish or something like that? Did I make that up?
You might not have.
Yeah. I think so.
Maybe I did.
This movie is a bit of a sexual punch-up. I feel like when him and the girl at the end got together, I feel like that just came way too quick.
Yeah,
she
she was
fucking-
very forgiving, very fast.
Very fast. The whole thing just came quick. The movie's very disjointed. I try to think even, I don't even know the real message of this movie, to be honest, because I feel like it got confusing in itself, and they forgot the pacing and the general meaning of that they were going for halfway through. Is it just to say, be yourself?
So that's the thing.
I think the message is do anything for money at all costs.
No.
Money's the only thing that matters.
Yes, but I kind of think Brian's right. I think the whole point is that the movie's just saying, don't be someone you aren't.
Yeah.
Always be true to your own identity, no matter what that is.
Yeah, and that's what from the ending, I think you're on the money. I got the impression that after the dust settled, after the floods in New York destroyed the subway, at the end of everything, be true to yourself, but but then also chase the money at the same time.
Yeah, be truly, right?
Be,
Shane,
be truly, yes. So wait, maybe it is just be true to the money.
Be true to the money. It's the Joe show. It's the Loqueesha show. Let's peel back the onion and get into it.
yeah. Why does he need the money? You didn't say that.
That's a really good point. So our main character is divorced, and his ex-wife is like, our son's gifted, so we need to send him to a new school. The issue is the school costs more than college.
It's true. It is in a private school.
Isn't it like $13,000 a semester or something like that?
It's fucking.
Isn't that
crazy.
a lot for a 12-year-old?
It's a lot for anybody.
What is he fucking learning? Nanotechnology?
I don't know, but like, I'll tell you what. If my son's gifted, he ain't going to no
His son
$13,000
had
school.
one line that was fucking hilarious.
The kid?
Yeah. We'll talk about it because it's towards the end. But
We could talk about it now. We never go in order here.
Yeah, we don't.
that's a good point. I'm the one that usually goes off rails. I'm
so
trying
go
to
off-
stay on rails
go
today.
off the rail. What are we talking about?
I'm voting to stay. Can we talk about these mic stands, though?
the
Fucking
new mic stands.
gorgeous.
We're upgrading tech in the new studio.
Look at this.
I got more stuff coming in too.
Okay, stop.
I am hitting Shane with my
Brian
mic.
put all of his hard work setting this up while we were just petting a dog. The least you could do is not break it the first day we're using it.
Well, the good thing is now that I have it set up, I'm just gonna kind of like leave it the way it is. So in the future times, it'll be easier.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a great point. But get to your point, Mike. What was your point?
That's a good question because I already forgot.
No, we were
Oh, the line by the kid.
at the end.
The kid line. I think the dad asked, like, how do you feel about all this new money? And the kid goes, well, I love you a lot more than when you had that poor job or something.
He does say that. He does.
Oh my god, I love this scene. There's no way that this. Because you could tell this was a legit skinhead.
Yes,
right?
yes.
That calls into live with Loqueesha. This skin calls in. So the whole premise is like now that he has this radio show, he's playing this black chick who's got like this jive voice, and he doesn't sound anything like a black
Not at
chick
all.
At all.
He sounds like Steven Seagal during that like black Steven Seagal phase.
like Slave Seagal.
Is that pre-Asian Seagal?
Yeah, it's pre-Asian
Oh,
Seagal.
cool.
He's literally just riffing as a white guy that sounds like a black lady.
Yeah.
But in any case, the skinhead calls in. At least he seems like he's giving you
No,
that vibe, right?
it gives skinhead vibes.
So, and I feel like there's no way the skinhead would be this docile when calling in.
Yeah.
I feel like he'd call in with the attempt to argue, but he just internalizes it because apparently Live with Loqueesha is just hitting the masses.
Yeah.
Hitting them because people needed this apparently.
Well, just think of the scene that's even more absurd is when the suicide girl calls in, and then
She's like,
Loqueesha,
I'm about to jump.
and Loqueesha's like, you should then do it and just off yourself because you know we don't gonna miss you. But then again, we might miss you, and that's the point I'm trying to get across.
You know, honestly, that's actually kind of like
Right.
what he sounds.
Is he the new Loqueesha?
That might have been the best impression he's ever done ever. That's pretty much how he sounds.
Usually they're like dog shit.
But I guess that's more so the point. His accent of what a black woman sounds like is not great.
Well, the more Shane will continue to give accents, he will eventually trickle down to Corleone. Like all paths lead to Godfather. for Shane.
You're
I'm
going to be the
actually
Don of New Jersey.
So glad you said that because it made me think of like how my accent started, John Voight, and I was sent a John Voight clip today that I have to show you guys.
Who's sending you John Voight?
Our good buddy Tim? It's
Good
John.
man. Shout out,
it's John
Tim.
Voight in the show Ray Donovan, but he's in a library looking up twerking videos.
Incredible. Great. I love it already.
Like of.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to show you after this episode. You guys are going to love this.
Remember that one time I spotted John Voight's mouth?
So how about this? I have a new idea for a video
hot.
game. You know Galaga where you're shooting like the things that come
Yeah.
in? Or how about even better? 'Cause I was thinking
Tetris.
Galaga. Let's go to Pac-Man. Instead of Pac-Man, it's John Voight's mouth. It's just
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Galaga, like you could just have like John Voight's mouth, like just like
Yeah.
spitting fire.
Kinda
But
like-
instead, he's just eating things as Pac-Man.
Like that's kind of reminding me of what's that game, Hong Kong '96, where the guy's head is
Yes.
shoot. If you just had John Voight's head doing that, oof,
Oops.
oof. Oh, so cute. Yeah, John Voight. We gotta have him on the show one day.
Yeah, he'll come on. He'll be on here.
once
Gotta
he sees this new dog.
Gotta have Gino in studio as well.
Facts. The goat
He is
himself.
really
Probably
the
my
goat.
literally. I can't even say probably my favorite like indie horror director of all time. I love everything.
Gino
he does.
McGahey, yeah, he's goated. But yeah, so essentially Joe gets the idea to do Live with Loqueesha by talking to this. I forgot her name. Is it Rachel? I don't know. That's just a stretch.
It is an R
girl.
name. It's definitely an R name. I'll look it up while we're talking.
She
But
walks in the bar, and Joe is a bartender, so he obviously has the answer to every problem. It's just classic mixologist 101. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to talk to people. It's part of the job. And she's getting a problem with her boyfriend. He basically gives her advice, helps her out. She's like, you should be doing this professionally. He's like, you know what? I'll try. It's not my thing, but maybe I'll try the local radio. Like I think he has his first things like 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. spot. They don't
It's
want
the, what do they call that? Graveyard shift?
the graveyard shift.
Graveyard
Yeah.
shift.
No.
They don't want a white guy, like I mentioned before, black and female. He decides he's like, I'll give them black and female, and he does with Shane's accent.
Yep.
Gets the gig, crushes in the 11 to 2 a.m.
How does he
spot.
show up to the studio with a brown paper bag on his head?
dude,
Yeah.
it's so fun. It's so funny.
That's the thing. Because he's white, he can't show himself publicly to the studio. So I love the negotiation for the contract.
incredible.
Where he basically got everything he wanted, except for maybe like the dollar amount.
Yeah.
But he got everything he wanted, and they were like throwing everything at him by just giving him this Live with Loqueesha idea.
By the way, it was Rachel. You were right on the name.
Good job, Brad.
Nailed it. Well, did we mention that's how this whole thing started?
Brad literally,
He did, right?
literally just said it.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, because I was looking up the name.
Oh, cool,
what was
cool.
Going on.
Cool.
But it evolves from not just like the graveyard shift. It gets so popular that he gets
He gets,
Mike Francesa time
afternoon
slot.
Yeah, he does.
afternoon
He
drive.
gets the afternoon drive. I
Yeah.
call it the Mike Francesa spot because Mike Francesa is the GOAT of sports radio.
You guys want some gum?
No.
It'll be allowed.
Yeah, you don't chew on the mic. Mike.
I've done it plenty of times.
That's a hot spot though. That's a
is.
hot spot. You
Speaking
want
of
that
hots,
spot.
what is her name? Rachel?
Yeah.
She gets the hots for our boy Joe.
Yeah.
Off just a piece of advice.
So
It was hot advice.
I love the scene. So they're gonna. So basically, she calls into Loqueesha's show, and she's like, "You give advice just like a guy I know." and then like basically, she talks about this guy, and because I guess he likes her too, he
Yeah.
gives her the advice that like she should go for it. Essentially,
yeah.
So, I mean, she ends up calling him. He's like, we're only hanging out if it's at your place.
Yeah.
Then they're going to her place, and this is when the movie just goes way off the rails.
This is my favorite parts of the movie. In a movie I don't really like at all. These parts where he goes to her place and they start kissing, and then he just randomly starts shouting Loqueesha lines at her while they're kissing.
Literally, what I was gonna say was I feel like this movie was hitting a downturn big time
Until this?
until he started getting Loqueesha Tourette's. Like when he couldn't distinguish himself from Loqueesha, when it's so fucking dumb, like it's
Yeah.
so stupid.
He does it to a cop.
Oh my!
And
The
then
cop scene's great.
Instead
though.
of having sex, he does it with Rachel.
Yeah, and then the cop scene happens, and then essentially he has to like have that conversation with himself on the air. But then things kind of get crazy for Joe.
yes,
Like really crazy.
absurd.
Because then the big deals start coming and they need to find a way to get Loqueesha onto in the public eye.
Yes,
Because you can't be like famous and be the front facing of a afternoon drive without a face to the show.
Exactly.
And Joe is not a black woman.
That's true. That's the dilemma here. So they're gonna have a bunch of auditions for someone to be the face, and they go through a couple of rough ones. I don't think I would have gave the job to the girl that gave it to.
No.
I feel like she was just a problem from that interview
Yes.
anyway.
Does she have a face for radio? Is what you're saying?
no. It's that
It's-
she thought she was Loqueesha before she was Loqueesha. Like
If you looked at this woman, you're like, this is Loqueesha. But man, I feel like she was just a little bit of a problem.
yeah,
in the interview.
you
Well,
could tell.
Eventually, she gets a little deviant. She starts blackmailing Joe.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Joe doesn't want to. Eventually, Joe just doesn't.
Oh my God.
Joe doesn't want to do the show.
Doesn't she have that line though? She's like, "I'm not blackmailing you. I'm black femaling you."
Oh, that was sick. That was so sick.
dude, the movie's absurd.
Low key though, if he was bartending at a busy ass bar, I don't think he would even need to do this. Those people make a lot of fucking
The
money.
issue was the bar he bartends at literally
There's-
had one guy.
There's two customers, Rachel and
Three,
some
three,
old dude.
because his producer was a customer.
Superstar, by the way.
Yeah,
Joe's wife though,
they just she is above and beyond a bitch. And it's like,
yeah, she's just like wants money.
yeah.
Did she remind you of the mom from Home Alone? Kind of reminded me of the mom. Kevin!
Oh my God.
Like as soon as she loses her son, she's like a lead singer of a heavy metal band. Kevin!
I actually watched Home Alone today.
Really?
I watched 2 movies today. Home Alone,
What channel is that on?
Stars, and I watched.
It's not really Christmas season yet.
I also watched Sandlot,
That's a
Just
classic.
going through classic
and then
movies.
yesterday I watched Basketball.
Classic 90s movies?
Yeah, I've been on a comedy 90s kick. Bless you.
What was your favorite one?
Oh, Basketball. Basketball is literally one of my favorite.
It's one of the
comedies all
funniest movies ever.
Basketball is pretty good.
Dude, it holds up. Like, it's still so good.
I always say you'd have a better shot at Bill.
Come on, bitch, you're my new best friend. But yeah, let's continue wrapping this one up.
Well, we can talk about like I said, they run into the dilemma where like he doesn't want to do the show anymore because he's realized like the authenticity is not there. He's not Loqueesha. It's just inauthentic. And I think his son is kind of like one of the reasons why he decides to take this turn.
Yeah, it is. He wants to be authentic. He wants to be
Yeah.
real, and that's why, like you said, he's like the Tourette's is like he's becoming 2 different people. So he comes up with a crazy idea to have himself as a caller call in Loqueesha. So he like hashes out his problems on air, and his producer is even like, "This is the craziest shit I've ever seen."
I wish they talk salary. I would love to know how much an afternoon drive person makes.
Francesca money.
That's a lot though, right? Is that just because he was in New York?
No. I mean, if you're
This movie is what, Detroit?
you got to think though. The whole point is like she's becoming a national icon. Like Francesca became a national icon.
Oh yeah, 'cause
So like she's getting Oprah. Like
get that Oprah invite.
Live with Loqueesha literally blows up.
yeah, it's actually very unbelievable.
It is unbelievable
Because, like-
nobody would be interested. in
What for
Loqueesha.
some mid advice?
Yeah,
the
well,
advice
that's what I'm
isn't even
saying.
that
Like,
good.
The advice isn't that great. It's kind of most of it's very.
He
basic.
literally got a pretty smoking hot girl off of one piece of advice.
Yeah, it's very unrealistic.
That's true.
Oh, this is the audition part.
I feel like Chat GBT would now answer like all of that.
Chat GPT is literally Loqueesha. It should just be called Loqueesha. It's
true.
the same thing.
It really is. It could give you the answer to everything.
I'm not even sure what that is. Chat what?
It's the AI that you like ask a question to and it answers it for. Okay, bud. It's the question like so. If you be like, what are the top 10 baseball players of all time?
It will literally give it to you.
And-
It's actually
yeah.
disgustingly sick.
It breaks down all the analytics of every player that's ever played, and it gives you statistically what should be the top 10 like of all time.
It's so sophisticated that if you were like, write me a valedictorian address, it would literally just actually give you an address, and you could just tweak some things. It
Hi,
wrote
Caitlin.
Caitlin's papers.
Really, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Isn't there like
I wish I went to college.
You can
during
like,
that.
you can look up company policies. What is Uber's policy on this? Spits it out in a second.
question
Really?
with that though? Is there like risk for plagiarism?
100%. Yeah, it's
That- you
actually
gotta be
very
careful.
high plagiarism. Like,
And that will get you. You could sooner get kicked out of college for like you can murder somebody and then plagiarize. They would kick you out for plagiarism first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn it in and looking at him.
Turn it in. Oh man.
There she is. The actual.
We're doing that thing that we did a long time ago
What's
where
that?
we're watching the movie in the background while recording this. But
I like it.
So I'm gonna be honest. I don't have much more to say about this movie because really all that happens is they give the show now to Loqueesha because he wants to quit, like you said.
He wants to quit. She tries to blackmail him. She wants to take 70-30
Yep.
split when it was previously the other way around. Like he would
Yeah.
get 70, she would get 30. He's like, yeah, no, I don't want anything to do with this. She takes over the show, completely fucking bombs.
Yeah. Well, because she's just rude.
Guys, can I stop you for a second?
Yes.
There's a cat smelling my hand right now on the side of the couch.
That's
Is there?
adorable.
What cat is that?
I think it's Emily. Emily.
Okay. Yeah, we have a lot of animals here now.
Yeah.
This place is a
Get
fucking
used
zoo.
to it, clowns.
This place is a zoo.
Speaking of clowns, we'll get to clowns in like 5 weeks.
Oh, God.
Oh boy.
So this is actually, I think, what would be the controversial part of this movie is that when the actual black woman takes over, they make her very mean spirited.
She's mean. She's rude. She's a bitch.
Yeah, and I can see how that's kind of an issue.
Yeah, she's just very in your face. It's,
Yes.
it's a little too much.
It's too much of the stereotype of it, and I could see why that would be the issue. That's the only thing I do see as an issue with this movie.
There's one glaring difference.
What's that?
The voice is entirely not the same.
It's so different. No one would believe these are the same people. It's impossible.
The callers are like, "You're mean." Yeah. What happened to you? And everybody's like turning her off.
Eventually,
You used
she
to just give us advice. Now you just yell at us.
yeah, she's like, you people have problems. I don't care about your problems.
She was gonna go on a vacation, but she does go back to Joe.
Yeah.
And Joe's like, "I literally want nothing to do with the show anymore."
Bro, that's very ace of her, needing 2 weeks in Cabo.
Yeah.
And then Joe does the respectable thing. He goes on the air. Well, first of all, he goes back to the network, tells them exactly the
what
truth.
happened. Yep.
And then goes on the air and gives them 3 options.
Yeah.
One, he will hopefully continue to do the show, but as the Joe Show. Give advice, but under his own name. 2, keep doing Loqueesha.
Yep.
As he was doing. Or 3, walk away entirely.
Yeah.
That's
I
it.
feel like option 2 would never fly
No chance.
in 2020. Still,
Option 2 would literally never fly. Honestly, probably 3 would be the answer.
Yeah.
People would probably give him death threats.
Yeah, 100%. He would never get away with this.
And it would probably be because the material of this movie is absolutely not racist at all. I couldn't even find one modicum of like racism in this movie.
No, like I said,
I don't think
I
so.
think the only issue was the I'm being assaulted by the dog. I think the only issue.
Snoopy.
Sit down, boy. No, the only issue was just how they portrayed the actual black woman. I think that's the only issue that's like truly
How they
like
portrayed.
the girl who took over as Loqueesha.
Good shit.
Just making her rude.
Like
But other than-
stereotypical, like
Yeah.
sassy black.
Yeah.
Guy-
Other than that, though,
guy-
I think it's kind of blown out. of
guys, if
proportion.
we get
It
a,
is, yeah.
a invite on the own Oprah Winfrey Network, are we going?
Yeah. I don't think
100%.
she would want nothing to do with us.
no chance.
so. Too white.
What show would we get on? You think Maury or something?
Don Imus. That was a joke.
Ugh.
I don't know. Maybe Howard Stern.
Yeah.
He's Joe Rogan.
Joe love to have us.
Joe would fucking love us, dude.
He
Yeah,
might.
is that the end of the movie though?
Unless you guys have some, because how does it end exactly?
Yeah. It ends while he's on the air.
That's right. It does.
It just ends.
It just stops.
Because he just starts talking as the Joe Show. And then because basically what the guy says, like, 20% wanted you off. So that, and then 40% wanted him as Loqueesha, which means that 40% wants him as Joe. So there's a split. So you think he's going in, he's talking about the Joe Show, and then all of a sudden he gives that Loqueesha voice. So
Yeah.
he's doing like a double thing.
Yeah, that's right. So he's doing both.
And that's how it ends. And that's Loqueesha.
And that is Loqueesha. So, what you guys think? Yay or nay to Loqueesha? Yeah, I'm gonna say no.
I think we decided off the air on this one.
Yeah. Like I said, it has its moments. Tourette's Loqueesha, hilarious, but overall, I think it's a pretty boring movie.
I think there's a period of boredom for me. I just think it definitely does slow down.
I needed more of the son.
There's
Mocking his dad for being poor.
That's actually
That's
hilarious.
fair. There's a couple of really strong one-liners in this movie. I can't lie. There's a couple of lines that had me like absolutely bawling. The 2 gay jokes they made, were absolutely incredible.
Wait, in the end, he gets back with Rachel. Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, that was
They end
mean,
up
like-
fucking or something. I can't remember.
It was the relationship
Probably.
between him and Rachel was absolutely nonsensical. throughout the
No,
whole
it
movie.
happens so fast. It's so
The
unrealistic.
Loqueesha voice, he doesn't sound black at all. He sounds like Steven Seagal's slave voice. Yeah, it's not a good movie. It's bad. Is it a 1.6 worthy? Absolutely not.
No,
what?
it ain't that
Give it. Slap a number on it. 4.
I gave it a 4.
You?
Like, if we're going like IMDb, where I think it would be like a 3.7.
I'd go like a light to decent 3.
Do you know what this movie gave me the vibe of?
No.
This felt like an Adam Sandler movie to me.
Oh my god! Yes, like
Yo.
I was talking because Caitlin was watching with me yesterday. I'm like, this feels like an Adam Sandler movie.
yeah, that's a good way to put it. All right, so that's Loqueesha.
Yo, maybe the central point of this movie is like, in order to get chicks, you don't gotta have a rippling 8-pack. You just gotta give good advice.
Oh, you try to be funny. Girls only care about funny.
That's a
I
fact.
truly believe that.
That
And
is
monster
facts.
dicks. If you have a monster dick and you're funny, you're in.
You're in. Look at Pete Davidson.
Apparently, he's got a monster.
It's
dad.
been
Yeah.
said.
And,
It's been said.
and some people think he's funny. So
I mean, he's definitely not, but yeah.
You
Some
guys
different
haven't
thing.
seen King of Staten Island, and I won't talk to
No,
you
I've seen
until
it
you've seen
stand up.
it.
It's atrocious. I'm good.
Also, that movie is not good either.
the best thing he ever did was bodies, bodies, bodies.
Fair.
All right, next week we are gonna do a classic, and by classic I mean a movie that just came out last month, Slaughterhouse.
Oh my god. It's a slaughterhouse.
It's gonna be great. I can't wait. Just kidding.
It's exactly
mid at
what it
best.
sounds like, though.
It's a movie.
So is Slaughterhouse.
Just a sloth in a sorority house. Can't wait.
Yep. So yeah, we'll see you next Friday. Don't forget to tune into the A Show on Mondays too.
Hell
Oh, yeah. I love that show.
Yeah, we'll see you next Friday. Final podcast. See you there.
Thanks, Benny.
Bye.